Welcome to another edition of the Sim Racing Garage. I'm Barry Rowland, and today I have a set of Emery Emond's hydraulic tilt-in-based pedal set for your simulator. I've been using these pedals for about 12 months now, and I decided it was time to do an official Sim Racing Garage review on them. I really like this pedal set, I'll tell you that right off. The hydraulic brake system is something that feels very natural and comfortable to me. It's not any more accurate than the other high-end brake pedals that I've used, but the feeling is just so good on this brake pedal. You just have to use a set to see what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and do an overview of how the pedals are set up. And of course, like I said before, it's a real set of racing pedals that you can buy at the race shops online. These run about $240 shipped for the 3-pedal set you see here. And again, it's a Tilton 600 series. Now when you buy them, they're all together in one piece here. So you can't separate these pedals and move them around. You have to make other adjustments if you need to move them laterally or move them up in front, back and forth. Now, they come mounted to a nice 1/4-inch 6061 aluminum plate that you can see here, and 10 series 80/20 profile, a 1-inch by 2-inch on the front for the heel plate, and 1-inch 2-inch on the front here, and a 1-inch by 1-inch on the back you see here. Now I ordered this set with the heel plate option that Emery offers, and that's why it came with the 1-inch by 2-inch plate on the top here. And what that means is he also includes a plate that mounts up here like this, and then of course you can rest your heels on it. And not only that, but because you have an option to add different types of profile here, you can actually put a 1-inch in here to lower your heel plate if you have a big foot and you need more distance downward so your foot hits the pedals where you want them to. Or if you have a small foot like me, you can actually add a 1 by 3-inch up here, which will actually lift it up an inch. So that's how you adjust the heel plate height on this assembly. Very simple and very neat. And one thing I did want to mention is this aluminum plate is 1/8 inch, and I do not use this on mine because it had a little bit of, not that much, but it just had a little bit of flex feel to it when I was using the pedals. And I'm just real picky about that. I don't like any flex at all. So, it didn't come with the notch cut out. I'm now using this for scrap metal. I came up with a different solution for me, and that was this. And this is a 1/4-inch aluminum plate. And you can see it has some of the diamond patterns on it. It's not the shiny chrome stuff, just a regular aluminum. And I went ahead and drilled some holes in the back. Put some of those crazy long 80/20 profile nuts on it, and then just mounted that to the top of here. And once I tightened all that down, it was a nice solid unit for me to rest my heels against, at least solid for me. So that's the way I did it. And you might think that the other plate is fine, and most people probably would. I'm just a real stickler about that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's the way I did it. Just to let you know the different options available when you have 80/20. I love 80/20 just because of that, really. Now, you can actually take this off, of course. It's not that big of a deal. I just loosen up the 1/4-inch ones on the bottom here. And I've already got the top ones loose, so the whole piece just slides out. And I'm taking this out just to show it to you and to leave it out, so when I look at the adjustments on the pedals and we do the overview, you can get a little clear shot on everything without that in the way. And we'll just snug these back up so they don't run off and leave me anywhere. And by the way, there's 2 of these on the back when you get your set, but they're not the 1-inch, 2-inch, they're just the 1-inch, 1-inch brackets for the back, so you can mount that to your plate or whatever it is you're mounting it to in your simulator. All right. So now what we're going to do is take a little closer look at the pedals themselves and what they look at. And we'll go to the close-up camera for that. You can see the pads here on the pedals, and they come with an anti-slip abrasive tape on each one of these pedal faces. Now I've removed that because I don't need that. It's mainly for running around when you're in the pits or you're in the garages and you jump in the car to go to drive it and you've got some grease or oil on the sole of your feet and you don't want it to slip off your pedals. And even so, a lot of race car drivers will leave it maybe on the brake or the clutch, but take it off the throttle anyway, because being able to smoothly apply throttle pressure, it's nice to have that machine surface against the sole of your shoe, so when you push it, it's smoother. So it's easier to apply that nice steady pressure you need when you're coming out of a turn without being jerky with the throttle pedal. So that's just something of note, that you'll see the new sets will have that abrasive tape on it, which is gone now because I don't need it and didn't use it. So let's look down here. They also, because this is a real racing brake pedal, you'll notice down here there is a balance bar. And this balance bar is to adjust the bias on the brake cylinders. And we don't need to adjust it on ours. It comes adjusted from Emery already. It's set up as a 50-50 split on these so that the fluid doesn't go back and forth between the reservoirs. When you push the brake pedal, it does what it's supposed to do. But remember, we're dealing with a closed loop here, so that's why. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Now, there's not much to see over here on the side, except you can see the assembly that he's made as far as the adjustments to link the pedal back here to a pot. And these are nice DI Technologies pots on here, industrial types, that are good for over 1 million cycles. So it's all high quality stuff here. It's like a stainless steel threaded bar here with ball end assembly here that actually, I use the same kind of stuff on helicopters when I used to fly those to make connections to all kinds of the servos and things like that. So nice, easy to move around so it doesn't bind up. I really like the setup. So there's no way that's going to bind up when you're using the pedal. There's a nice aluminum arm here that he's actually bought from somewhere, maybe had a machine for it, that links to the pot, which is very nice. And here's the electronic box where all the USB connections are. And I could take that off, but it's just the circuit board. It's Derek Spears DSD 36+6 board. A lot of people use this board to take the signals from whatever it is, load cells, pressure cells, or whatever you're using, and send them over to the board so you can hook it up to your computer. So really nothing to see there. Now, on the back here you can see, right here, is the pressure sensor. And that's also known as the SAM sensor. Back when Emery was developing these pedal sets, they were looking for a sensor that would be compatible with the electronic boards that were available. And Sam Maxwell, actually, who makes those great custom steering wheels, got in and I guess they worked together with Emery and came up with this sensor. That's why they call it the SAM sensor. This is a particular unit, is a 1600 PSI. And I think that's all he's using now. When I got this set, I think there was an option between 1000 and a 1600. And I went with the 1600 because I like a high pressure pedal. Now you can see here that all these bits he's using on this pedal set are very nice. It's all high quality. I mean, we've got your nice stainless steel mesh brake lines on here. All the connectors are nice and heavy duty. The bleed valves. Didn't cut any corners at all here as far as the way he set this thing up. And we can look at the master cylinders themselves, and you can see that this is actually Wilwood units. The reservoirs are Wilwood units, and the slave cylinder over here is a Wilwood unit. So it's all top-of-the-line brake hardware. A lot of people use this on their actual racing cars rather. So it's no expense spared there, and I really like that, and that probably is one of the reasons why this pedal set is not the cheapest in the world. But you get what you pay for, and it works fantastically. Now, I want to show you something here on how he has this set up. There is a loop, as you might imagine. You've got two master cylinders, and because we don't have a set of brakes in the front and the rear on our Sims, we just have one brake pedal to push. He's put these together in a loop, and we got fitting coming off of both ends of the master cylinders, and they loop around to the front. And in the front, I'm trying to get it so you can see it here, there's a T where these two lines come into a T over here. And that's where the T is. And there's a single braided line coming out of that goes back around. So you can see it all. Goes back around, and there's another T here for the pressure sensor to fit into the line or into the circuit. Then it continues around through that T on the sensor and comes back around to the slave cylinder itself. And that's where we end up. So that's the way the loop works, and it's all very neat and tidy and all high quality connectors. Excuse me. So a very simple setup when you look at it, but it took a long time to develop this and refine it to where we could actually take something like this and put it on our pedals and make it work. On the other side over here, you have the clutch pedal with the spring. We'll talk about the adjustments here. And again, another DI Instruments potentiometer. And again, that's a very nice high quality unit with shrink taped everywhere. Everything's tied off nice and neatly, as you can see. You can tell that Emery really cared about what he was doing and took his time and really did a great job with this pedal set as far as assembly. Everything is really tough, high quality, top-notch stuff. I mean, I can't see you ever wearing something like this out. And if you did wear something out like a bushing, it's a tilt and pedal set. So you can find the parts just about at any speed shop to replace it if you needed to. Well, I guess that's it for the overview, just showing you how everything works there. Now we'll get to the actual pedal adjustments and how that works.